So something you can do, and this is sort of a drill that I give folks when they want to improve their spacing, is that consider the buttons that you would be pressing in neutral for jury, right? It's probably this one. Stand heavy punch is pretty good, right? Press this a lot. The stand medium kick is pretty good. And then this one, right? Probably the ones you're going to press the most in neutral. Like jabs and this type of thing are kind of close and fast, right? So you're probably not going to be pressing these in neutral as much. These are more like up close pressure buttons. Similar for like the stand medium punch and the crouching medium punch. Oh, this is pretty good too for like driver's checks, but it's not. You're not really going to be poking with this button, I guess is what I want to say. It's more likely you're going to try to poke with this, right?
Right.
Maybe this. This is a little slow. This is more like a punish counter or hard read type button. But you can poke with this, I guess. It's a little slow though. But these are buttons. Like, let's just simplify it to like those three options, right? So this one, and this one, right? Just for now. I mean, to simplify this. So the idea behind this is to try to get it so that you land this button at the tip of the range. Now, I'm not a jury player, so I can't do this quite well, but if I were to stand about here, right, would this stand heavy punch hit or not? Probably, right? Right here it's going to whiff. Right, maybe right here it's going to whiff too. Oh, that hits from there. Wow, that's... Button's busted. What a sense of, like, where you can stand to press the button, right? So if I'm standing here, like, if you look at this distance, right, it's closer than you think you need to be, but further than you would imagine you can for a stand heavy punch. Similar for this button, right? Like, how far away can I stand to do this, right? And similar for this button too, right? Like, how far can I stand to get this, right? And the reason we do this is because it builds sort of the sense of how close or how far a character can be from you and what your ideal ranges are, right? So if you consider the space between the characters, as you do this, you'll get an idea of like what this space looks like, and you'll have a sense of, oh, my button is going to hit or not, right? And because of that sense, you're going to whiff less in neutral, right? That's the goal, is to whiff less. So the first step of this drill is to stand at a static space, right? Like, okay, I'm going to stand here and I think it's going to hit. Great. Perfect. And I do this over and over again until I have a sense of that. Maybe you spend a few minutes on that. The next level is for you to walk into the space and then hit it, right? So how far can I walk before I have to press the button, right? Can I walk into the space and not whiff, right? Right, move back and forth, like this would be what you would do in neutral, right? And then bam, right? And again, what this is helping you learn is your character's ability to... So when I talk about this, as you move, right, the space between the characters changes at a specific rate, right? So if I'm moving forward, this space is closing in. If I'm moving back, the space is expanding, right? If the character over here is static, right? Each character does, besides dashing, there's not really like running or anything like that for most characters that can manipulate how fast they move overall. If they're walking, it's usually at a set pace, right? This means that this space between the characters is increasing or decreasing at a specific rate, right? So I can decrease the space at the rate that I'm comfortable with and press my button, right? And because of that, I can recognize when my spacing is going to allow me to hit that button and then press it. And more importantly, I'm going to recognize when my button won't hit and not press, right? I won't whiff my button if I always try to land it. On hit, on block, doesn't matter as long as I don't whiff, right? That's the idea. So that'd be the second level, right? Is you try to do that with all your buttons, right? Yeah. Can I walk in, walk out, like that type of thing, right? And then the third thing would be for you to introduce some random movement from this character, right? So you'd go in the training room, you'd set the dummy to like move a little bit, right? Maybe set a recording of some kind, right? Something like that. And then just try to get a sense of like when I can press, when I can't press, right? Get an idea of that. Now in a real game, the person moving isn't going to be as random as this dummy is going, right? So it's actually be a little bit easier to get a sense of that, right? Because the opponent is not random. But the idea would be that you get a sense of how fast or slow the space between the characters can close if the other character is moving. Now, this is going to depend a lot on like your opponent's walk speed. Your walk speed is going to be constant because you always play Jerry, right? So that's always your walk speed. But against like Akuma versus Geef, right? Versus Cammy versus Ken, like those walk speeds are going to be different. So you kind of get a sense of how fast that space can close, for a faster character versus a slower character. And that will help you to not whiff as often, right? That's really the goal of this sort of exercise, is help you whiff less, right? And then once you do all that, you can take it into a real game, right? Go into Battle Hub, play a bunch of casual games, whatever. But your goal is to always land the button, never whiff, right? And you're going to lose a lot doing this. Like, you're going to lose a ton of games because you're going to walk too close. You're going to walk back and whiff, right? Because you didn't have a sense. But as you do this more and more, you're going to recognize that, like, oh, I can stand a little bit closer than I thought I could. Or I realize that this guy's standing way further, and like he can't reach me, so I don't have to worry about specific things, right? That's really what I think, like, for you, actionable. That would be the next thing, would be for you to try to get there. Because once you stop whiffing buttons in that way, your opponent has to do something else to try to open you up, right? Whether that be inducing you to whiff or do something else like that. But you're less likely to kind of make a blunder, if you will, in neutral, if that makes sense, right? So anyway.
Street Fighter 6.